Welcome. This is an actual play of a role-playing game. All the participants are adults. The content is intended for adult viewers. We strive to keep the content PG to PG-13, but it is a horror story and may contain horror themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy. Howdy, friends and floor heads. It is Saturday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. We see a ton of people in chat, and I appreciate you all being here. We waited way too long since episode 2 to get to episode 3, especially considering how episode 2 landed. So for those of you that are watching this not live and are binge watching it, you did not have to wait, which is part of the beauty of video on demand. I'm going to give us kind of a quick little recap, and then I think we just get started. So it's been, believe it or not, less than 24 hours. All of you were transferred from Lehigh County Hospital to an old rundown Catholic hospital on the outskirts of Allentown, Pennsylvania called Our Lady's. Now, each of you are recovering from serious injuries or ailments that have kept you hospitalized for months. Yesterday, you fell asleep at County and woke up here at Our Lady. Now, after meeting the hard-nosed head nurse Ann Mathers and the kind nurse Dampier and the gentle Dr. Drake, and trying to figure out how you got transferred here, you finally got your stuff and you went to sleep. Now, Angela, you woke up and were overpowered by a bizarre, faceless thing that was dressed like some 19th century nurse. Sam and Morgan, you were taken out by 2 other nurses and wheeled to a operating room. You were both then put under anesthesia and fell asleep. Now, Sam, you woke up and you discovered that you had a scar on your lower torso that you did not have the night before, though the scar looked healed. You also figured out that your left eye is now made of glass. Morgan found a similar scar on his torso, but also found a bizarre scar on his forehead as well. Ken is just looking around and thinking, you know what? I'm really not sure that these people that I didn't know 2 days ago aren't going crazy, because Angela proclaims to have some sort of kind of hard growth under her skin near her belly button. Now, as the 3 of you looked at your charts, you realized that what you believe to be charts were altered, right? So Sam's chart talks about a hysterectomy that she had several years ago, talks about her losing an eye when she was a child and having a prosthetic eye for her entire adult life. I believe, Angela, you saw in your chart that you have a history of non-cancerous tumors. And I don't believe Morgan looked at his chart. He just got up and left. So Ken watched as the three of you walked out of the room after a little bit of a confrontation with Miss Dampier, who was just doing her best to figure it out. But you guys made it clear that you're checking yourselves out. You headed down the hallway to the elevator, and you encountered a out of order sign. Morgan then immediately looked to see if there were stairs. He found a small little map, in a case of fire map that shows around the corner and down the hall is a staircase. And as he turned to tell Angela that, they locked eyes. And that's where we're going to start. So, Angela, you look at Morgan, and for the first time, you are now being able to see that scar that Morgan proclaimed on it, because from a distance, you couldn't see it. It's very faint, like a childhood scar across his forehead. And what made you stare was the scar seemed to move and then separate. And as the scar opened, you realized it was not a scar, but it was an eyelid. And you now are looking at the forehead of Morgan as his third eye stares at you.
So, first question, is he blocking the doorway?
So no, I have the two of you right at the in the hallway, kind of right at the elevator, right, that has the out of order sign. Sam is just a little bit behind you. Sam, your Morgan's back is to you, but you have clear view of Angela.
Staring at the eye on his forehead, she mouths, "What the fuck?" and start backing up from him, horrified.
Speaking of horrified, is there a better way to start a Fear Itself episode without a stability test? So I need a stability test. And unfortunately for Angela, this is going to be a difficulty 5 stability test.
Okay.
Do you want to spend any of your stability points? So for those of you watching, stability is how we track whether our characters start to lose it or not. And it's a pool. Right now, Angela, how much stability do you have?
5.
You have 5 stability. Now, at a difficulty 5, Shadika, the player, can recognize there's probably going to be a decent bit of loss of stability here if she fails this. And one of the things that you can do with a lot of different things in Gumshoe, which is what Fear Itself is based on, she can spend stability points to add to her D6 roll. So she needs a 5 or a 6 on her D6 roll to avoid the loss, but she can even have a loss if she succeeds. With the roll for stability is just going to determine success or failure. There may be loss either way. And what's kind of neat about it for Shadika, the player, is that she has to decide, like, do I just try to get 1 out of 3 lucky here, or do I automatically drop some stability in hopes that it prevents me from losing even more?
Oh, this sucks. I'm gonna spend 1 stability and hope for the best.
All right, so now on a 4, 5, or 6, you'll succeed. So you roll a 4 plus the 1 is a 5. It's only going to cause 2 stability loss. Overall 3 with your spend plus the 2 loss.
That's so
It's
bad.
really good you didn't fail.
Okay.
Now, Morgan, you turn to tell her we're going to go to the stairs. She immediately has a look on her face as she's looking at, your forehead. And I think part of what makes you realize she's not making eye contact with you is you also start to feel a tingle in your eyelid. And it's a feeling like if you've ever slept a long time and you get kind of that sleep crust on your eyelids, and it takes a little bit of effort to open your eye. That's the feeling you have. And it feels natural. Like my eyes opening, but you have no idea why that is. And suddenly your view of everything changes. As she starts stepping back, going, "What the?" You are blinded, like a flash of light shining into your face. You can't see anything. And you feel yourself blinking, right? To try to hide from the light. But you just instinctively know three eyes are blinking, not just the two. And as you start to open, everything looks different. You see Angela in front of you backing away right now. And at the same time, you see Angela running away right now. At the same time, you also see Angela walking up to the elevator at the same time. You see Angela with her beautiful skin and her hair pulled back. You see Angela's skull. You see Angela's brain. You see her two eyeballs. You see everything all at once. I also am needing a stability roll from you.
Oh, I bet.
Same situation. Morgan, what is your current stability situation?
It is 3.
Okay. Are we gonna? It's also going to be a difficult. This is actually a difficulty 4. I'm sorry, it's not difficulty 5 for you. It's
Okay.
difficulty 4.
So Kevin, the player, is going to take his chances because realizing he's going to lose something, he doesn't want to lose doesn't want to go comatose.
So 50,
So
50.
I'm just going to go straight.
Let's do
straight
it.
roll.
4, 5, or
Okay.
6.
All right. Oh.
I need you to drop 4 stability, please.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So this is going to put you at -1 stability, which is which puts you in what's considered a state of losing it.
Mhm.
Look through the rule book. There's 6 possible ways to react to this. I'm going to give you a second to look through that and decide how would Morgan react to this. Sam, you see Angela stepping away saying, "What the F?"
Angela, Morgan, what's going on?
It's a fucking eye on his forehead, Sam.
What do you mean? And I think I reach out because I'm standing behind Morgan. I reach out and put my hand on his shoulder and like, Morgan.
I think Morgan is just the amount of input that's coming in. It's just overwhelming, start to shake. I reach out to grab Angela to try to stabilize myself. I don't know if she's there or not. So we were in front of the elevators. Are the elevators doors stainless steel?
They are.
Okay. So I'm going to look into the elevator door. I know everything will be kind of distorted, but just trying to see what's going on. I think at the same time I'm poking around in my head.
So as you turn, right, and you're kind of touching your head and you're feeling just like if you were doing this, right? You can feel the eyelid, you can feel your third eye moving around, just like you can feel it on your other 2 eyes. You look at the elevator. You see all of this at once. The elevator carriage is there. The elevator carriage is downstairs. The elevator carriage is on the 3rd floor. The elevator is being built. Somebody in a nurse's outfit, 19th century nurse's outfit, you can see the back of its head as it puts a out of order sign on the front. And you just see the doors opening and closing, opening and closing, opening and closing. So I'm going to force you to close your eye at this point. And what's odd is that you know how to do this. You know how, just like you knew how to wink as a child. And the eye closes. You are at -1 stability. You are considered to be losing it. What condition did you choose?
I'm going to close off.
Okay.
So I'm
Can
going
you
to
tell
take
us real quick what that means?
So I start to stumble forward toward the elevator and grab my head, and it's like, oh my God, what have they done to me? What's going on? Just starting to lose it a little bit. um, and then kind of fall down on the floor and start scooting backwards away from everybody, um, just shaking and rocking and just shut down.
And Sam, you see this, right? We see Angela pushing back. You see Morgan turns. You have not seen Morgan's forehead until now, and you see nothing. Right? You look, you don't even, you can barely see the scar if you look at the forehead. And I think that's maybe where you might have looked based on what Angela said. What is Sam doing?
I look to Angela and I say, "What's going on?" And then I focus on Morgan and, reach my hands out and like, Morgan,
And
calm
Morgan
down. What's going on?
I slap the hand away,
It's
and I
gonna
don't
be all
say
right.
anything.
Well, calm down. We'll get out of here. Angela, help me get him up.
Leave me alone. Don't touch me.
We shouldn't touch him.
What's going on? What happened?
It was an eye on his forehead.
A
I
what?
swear to fucking God, Sam, it was an eye on his forehead. It looked directly at me.
I look at his forehead. Do I see? Is it just the very light scar? I don't see.
It is. It's just the very light scar.
I don't see anything. But
Well, no, it's not there right now.
okay. What do we do?
Morgan starts pushing back, kind of skittering back the hallway, basically trying to find a wall or a corner or something to get into.
So, Angela, I see you have notice as an investigative skill.
Yes.
What you notice without a spend is you notice that the eye on his forehead is closed and has no indication that it was anything but the light scar on his face. There is more information if you wish to spend your 1 point in notice. Or do you want to save it for some time later?
Oh my gosh. I want to save it.
Okay.
Yes. I will look at Sam and like put both my hands on her shoulders and say, "It's closed."
Okay.
It's like it was never there. I think let's just calm him down. I don't know if he knows he had an eye on his forehead. But yeah, plan hasn't changed. We have to get out of here.
Yeah, we're still getting out of here. I look up the corridor. Do I see any of the nurses? Are we alone? Are we inside?
You are alone, looking back and forth down the corridor. It doesn't appear anybody else is in the corridor. You know, based on the map, right, that if you go straight down the corridor away from your room and take a hard left and go down that entire hallway, then you should reach the stairwell. Okay. I do want to cut back to the hospital room. Ken, you're in there with we're in there with Miss Dampier. As soon as the three of them left, she made it very clear she needs to make some phone calls because they're talking about checking themselves out. Do you want to do anything or say anything to her before she leaves?
Not to her, but Ken, I think what Ken would think about it and just kind of, well, I should probably just go check on them, make sure they're not, causing any trouble.
So you open the door. You see to your right, Miss Dampier's headed towards the nurse's station that's here on the second floor. You turn to your left. You see Morgan is collapsed on the ground. Angela and Sam are saying something to each other. You're not sure what it is. You did hear Angela raise her voice, but you couldn't make out because it happened right before you opened the door. You couldn't make out what she said, but that's the scene that you see. Sam's got her back to you. Angela is facing you. They're about, I'd venture to guess, maybe 20, 30 yards down the hallway.
All right. Miss Dampier, there's something's going on. Morgan's on the floor. I don't know looks like he might need some help.
And she turns around. She goes, oh my God. And she starts almost running towards them.
I'll shuffle along.
Angela, you can see the Sam. You cannot. You see Miss Dampier and Ken headed your way.
While they're heading my way, I want to focus on Morgan and use shrink to try and calm him down.
Okay, so this is one of your investigative abilities.
Yes.
Okay, so the way that you can use shrink is that you can spend some of your points in shrink to hopefully restore some stability to Morgan. And I believe, is it 1 to 2 or 1 to 1? I gotta quickly look here. Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Let's look at stability. All right. You can provide comfort, perspective, and solace to the mentally troubled. You may be a therapist, a counselor, a priest, or a pastor. Angela is none of those things. This ability might equally be called rally spirits or comforting. You can restore panic character to a state of calm. Importantly, you can spend 1 shrink point to restore 1 point of stability. Now, mechanically, to metagame it, you know that if you spend 1, he will no longer be losing it.
Could I
You'll
possibly
bring him to 0.
Could I possibly spend 2?
Sure. You can spend as much as you want. Yeah.
All right, I'll spend 3.
Okay. So that's going to bring Morgan to a 2 stability from negative
Okay.
1. What does Angela say? She gets down on one knee next to Morgan.
She's going to hold her hand out and she's going to say, okay, Morgan, and be 100% honest with you. I don't want to touch you. I don't want to be near you, but the nurse is coming back and we started this together and we need to get out of here together.
I think Morgan finally snaps back, and you know, he can kind of make sense of the world around him. So if the eye is closed, you know, he's not getting all of that extra input.
Yeah.
But Morgan's not willing to make decisions. He's just going to follow. So if Angela says, "Let's go down the hallway," Morgan's going to try to shuffle along.
And I'll hold my hand out for Morgan to take. Horrified, but
I think Morgan would push back against that. I don't want to touch anybody. You know, he's shaking uncontrollably, but at least he's in the moment.
Mr. Morgan, don't get up. Don't get up, Mr. Morgan. And Nurse Dampier is now reaching you. She's right next to you, Sam. Ken, you're not too far behind. She goes, "No, hold on. Let me get Alf or Dave or somebody. Let's get you back to your bed."
We're fine. We're fine. Thanks, Nurse
doesn't
Dampier.
look
He's fine. We're fine. We'll deal with it. And I'm
Are
going
you
to stop.
injured? She's now ignoring you, Sam. Are you injured?
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. What did they do to me?
I'm not sure what's going on, sir. But did you fall? Did you get dizzy?
I don't know. I don't know.
Fainting spell? Do you have a history of fainting?
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know.
And she turns to you, Ken, and she says, "Can you help me? I want to let's get him back to his bed."
Yes, of course, Miss Dampier.
In the
Morgan,
state
come
Morgan's
on.
in, he's just going to follow whoever seems to have authority.
Morgan,
Okay.
there's something that's going on with you right now, and we don't know what it is. You need to see a doctor.
Okay.
So the two of them are helping Morgan up, Angela and Sam.
I think I'm going to step back and start stepping towards the door to the stairs.
Okay.
Angela, we're getting out of here.
oh, absolutely, yeah, he's a lost cause. Let's just go.
Thanks, guys.
We see Ken, Morgan, and Nurse Dampier start to head back to the room. Angela, you and Sam are now headed down the hallway in a very brisk pace, I would imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
You turn the hallway and you almost knock her over. But luckily you stop just before you do. There is really a stunning is the best word, young African-American woman there. She's got huge, thick glasses that take up all of her face. And if she's 22, she's 16. She looks really young, but she is in a nurse's outfit, and she's carrying one of those cardboard file cases, that they put files in. It's made of cardboard and it folds up. And she goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." As she pulls back to make sure she doesn't bump into the two of you.
Fine, whatever. Let's move on. Heading to the door. Heading to the door. Don't worry about it.
And she sees you in pajamas and barefoot, right? So she's like,
Yeah.
are you, do you guys need help?
We're fine. We're fine.
No worries.
Nurse Dampier. And she turns the corner. You guys reach the staircase, the door to the staircase.
It's the door open. Angela's gonna reach out and try to open it.
So it's one of those pushes, right? You
Okay.
kind of push and it clicks and it swings open.
Okay. Let's just keep moving. Let's get out of here. They're distracted. Morgan's distracted, and let's just go down. We'll find a way out. I mean, this place. We'll find a way out. We'll get a cab. We're getting out of here.
All right.
We hear the slam of the door as you guys enter kind of the top area of the stairwell, right? And as you're about to step down the stairs, the reality of everything physically is starting to hit you now. So I need both of you to lose 1 health for everything that physically just happened.
Okay.
And I mentioned this before, you both know that going up and down the stairs is not the best prescription for you right now, but you both know you're capable of it, right? So by no means would the two of you go, "I can't make it down the steps." So do we start to see you maybe a little gingerly, the two of you start to head down the steps?
Yeah.
Brisk, cautiously, but brisk. No nonsense. So
we see you start to head down. We're going to cut to the room. Miss Dampier is saying, "Hey, can you hold him, Mr. Ken?"
Yeah.
Just,
Why do I need
I'm going to get his bed.
Yeah,
ready.
Yeah.
And
Definitely,
don't
yes.
let him fall.
No.
Okay.
Morgan, are you okay?
And she runs.
I
over
think
and she
Morgan
starts
starts
to work the bed.
he's going to throw up. Because he's just disoriented and everything's spinning. Sorry,
Okay,
Ken.
okay, I've got the bed ready. Oh my God. Well, I'll get that cleaned up. But let's get him into bed if we can.
Yes, of course.
And she's now grabs like the buzzer. And it's not like modern hospitals have the buzzer on the bed, as part of the side rail. This is an old school like Jeopardy buzzer that she has to find and grab, and you hear the sound, and as she helps you, Morgan, get into bed, and Elf comes in. Yeah, Elf. We need this all cleaned up. I need a couple wet towels. And she turns to you. Do you need a glass of water or something?
I need water. I need something. I'm not feeling well.
Okay, Elf, clean this up afterwards. I need some. Can you bring me a fresh pitcher of water with a couple plastic cups? Yeah. And he heads out. You guys are working your way down. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think I'm going to lay down in bed and just kind of close my eyes.
Angela and Sam work your way down. You get to the bottom of the steps. I assume we go ahead and try the door, or we're going to do a handle, and it's going to pull towards you because it also has a bar on it for it to be pushed from the outside. You're now on the first floor, which, Angela, you've been here because this is the same floor that had the office that Dr. Drake's office was on. It's also the same floor that had the morgue, where you got to find out that something was going a little strange with our German friend.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, this is your first time. Maybe at some point you've been on the first floor, but not conscious, right? So you open it up. You look to your right, Sam, and you can see down the long hallway, the large front entrance double doors, in a waiting area. To your left is where Angela has been, is another long hallway. Angela, you see the child's ward that had the red light above the door, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also see Dr. Drake's office door closed, and you can see the morgue door closed.
Okay. Sam, it might be a high chance that these doors are locked.
Why would they lock the doors of a hospital?
Why did they move us in the middle of the night? And why did people with long syringe fingers attack me last night? It's a lot of shit I can't answer right now.
Let's just try the door. Let's get.
We try the door. If not, there's got to be another way out. An emergency exit.
Maybe well, let's see if the door's open. Or perhaps is that the doctor's office?
Yeah, but it's locked.
Oh, it's locked. Okay.
We can try.
Let's just get out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
So the two of you head down towards the front entrance. You get to the reception area. There's several very old metal chairs up against the wall with magazines on little tables. You can see the check-in desk there. There is no nurse there. The room is empty. You go to the large double doors, which are closed. They've got a frosted glass on them, and you push it. And initially it resists, so it unlocks, so it's not locked. And you go to physically push it, and it resists, and you push harder, and we hear a as the bottom of the door scrapes against the concrete bottom, and you see on the ground maybe 1.5 feet of snow. And you remember going all the way back to go like, oh, that's right, it snowed last night.
The nurse's station, a phone. Let's call a cab.
Okay.
That we can't. Yeah, I think because what time is it? It's really early morning right now.
It is. It's early morning.
Okay.
I would say maybe 7-ish in the morning.
Okay.
And the only other sensation I want to bring it to you is as the cold air obviously overruns. You realize you're in pajamas.
Yeah.
And more than anything, you realize how cold the floor is here in your bare feet.
Yeah. I didn't put my booties on. Let's call a cab.
Okay.
I'm going to head straight behind the nurse's station and look for the phone.
The phone is there. It's one of those old time conference type phones. It's got 8 million buttons plus the little.
Okay. Phone number for a taxi service.
I got nothing for you on that one.
Well,
I want to start looking around.
Yeah, there's got to be a
phone book.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, you don't call 911 for a taxi. I mean, I'm not going to do that.
Sam, do you have notice as an investigative skill?
I don't have notice. No.
Okay, so
I've got computer use. If there's a computer.
There is a computer there.
Okay.
It is a shockingly old computer because remember, this is 2002 or 22, right? Like this is modern times, but it's one of those old cathode type computers with kind of the green screen with a login prompt there.
This doesn't look like it's got internet.
So Angela, you do have notice. You don't need to spend anything.
Okay.
You see Allentown, Pennsylvania phone book, and it's kind of like back behind one of the second monitor, and it's being used to hold the monitor up.
I'm going to remove it.
So you yank that phone book out.
Yeah.
It says Allentown, Pennsylvania, 1997 phone directory.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, leaf through to the taxi section. Do you recognize any of the names? Are any of them in business still? I mean,
I'm going to
always drive. Let's just try the first one.
So the first one is always in every phone book for the young kids. I don't want to explain what a phone book is. The first one is always going to be ABC Taxi in every town and every phone book. you grab the receiver, you pick it up, and it's and Sam, you had a conference phone back at the real estate agency. You know it's looking for an outside line, right? So you need to press a button for an outside line.
Okay, that's 0 usually.
It is. You hit 0 and you hear, you know you have an outside line.
Okay. So I'm just going to punch in the first number for the first taxi cab.
Boom, boom,
service.
boom. Ring, ring. ABC Taxi.
Good. I need a taxi
Hello?
Hello? I need a taxi for 2
ABC
people.
Taxi.
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you please send over a taxi to our ladies to the hospital?
Jim, have you
right
checked
now?
these phones?
The lady
I'm not hearing anybody.
Hello?
Click.
Okay. The next one. Let's try the next one. They couldn't
Okay.
hear me.
All right.
Acme Taxi. You click it up.
Acme. Boop,
Boop, boop, boop, boop, boop.
God.
Ring. Acme Taxi.
Okay. Good. I need a taxi for 2 people right now
Hello?
at Our Lady's. Hello. Hello.
Acme Taxi.
Here.
Look,
I
you son
had.
of a bitch. If you keep calling this line with this bullshit, I swear to God,
not-
I'm going to trace this number. Stop calling. Click.
I hand the phone thingy over to
Okay.
Angela, and I'm like, you
okay.
try.
Okay. I'm gonna try Acme again.
Same thing. As best as you can tell, they can't hear you.
They can't hear us. They can't hear us.
Perhaps it's just the taxis, and then I'm going to take the phone back, and with some dread, I'm going to punch in the phone number for my ex.
Ooh, what's your ex's name?
My ex's name is Johnny.
So it rings. And you can tell it immediately is sent to voicemail. And Sam, I'm going to tell you this. If there's a lot of things that you guys had in common at some point in your life, right? You got married. There's a lot more things it turns out that you didn't have in common, which is why he's your ex. But one of the things you guys shared is unknown number on the old cell phone. That's going to voicemail. So you hear the voicemail. You've reached the voicemail of Johnny. You know what to do.
Johnny, it's Sam. I know you don't want to talk to me, but I need you. I'm in the hospital at Our Lady's, the old one. Can you please come pick me up? Please. And then I just disconnect.
Okay. We cut back up to our hospital room. Morgan, you're laying down. Ken, you're now watching after water's been brought in by Elf. Elf is now taking a mop and he's starting to mop up what little Morgan had for breakfast.
Morgan, you're okay? What happened in the hallway?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Just don't feel so well.
So, Morgan,
go ahead.
The doctor's coming. He should be here. She goes, it's 7. He starts his rounds at 7:30. I'm gonna go down to see if he's in his office yet to tell him that he needs to come up as soon as possible. Are you gonna be okay? Are you bleeding?
No, I don't know what happened. I think I might have just I don't know if I got confused or what, but thank you so much for the help. Is Elf still in the room?
He is finishing up, so he's got the big yellow bucket, right? He takes the dirty orange and green stained now mop. He's put it into the bucket and he's going to wheel it out right behind Miss Dampier. It's just the two of you.
What I wanted to try to do
yeah.
on Elf is I think I want to do an aura reading on Elf. I want to try to see if
somebody's looked at their character sheet. So what has happened is Morgan has picked up a psychic ability on his character sheet as a result of his third eye. And the name of that is
aura reading.
Right. So what you can do is you can, and I'm going to tell you, Morgan instinctively knows a few things. One, already for whatever reason have muscle memory to know how to open that eye, right? Just as much as you know how to open your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
2, you understand what happens when you open that eye. 3, I'm going to tell you as a player,
mm-hmm.
there's every time you use the psychic ability, there's a level 4 stability test that has to happen. This is true. This is part of using psychic abilities in this system.
Mm-hmm.
But I think based on what you saw with Angela, based on what you saw with the elevator door, you get information from this thing.
Mm-hmm. And this isn't out of the realm of something Morgan would have believed anyway.
You know what? That's a
Um,
really good point. As much of the like the
mhm.
mystical stuff that you were kind of, I'm
Yeah.
digging it. All right. So, Ken, Morgan sits up and is looking at Alf as he's now putting he's like, doing the, you can hear him wringing out the dirty mop and the dirty water. And you can see him staring over your shoulder. And you see his forehead open. Now, do you have notice?
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me of that in here in a little bit. You see his forehead open. And you see an eye. I need a level 5 stability test for you. Target number 5. Do you wish to, what is your current stability?
9.
Okay. Do you wish to spend?
Yeah, I'll risk it.
All right. We need a 5 or a 6. Drop 1 stability for me. Or 2 stability. I'm sorry. 2 stability on that success. Well done. Morgan,
Mhm.
your eye opens.
Mhm.
And you see the whole room. You see the whole room being built. You see Ken with a cane. He's very old. You see Ken as a teenager playing baseball. You see Elf
Mhm.
ringing the mop.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Okay.
Everything around you is moving. It's yesterday, it's tomorrow, it's 5 weeks ago, it's 4 weeks from now. Elf is just there, stable in the middle, ringing them up.
Okay.
Ken, what is your reaction? Now, you didn't lose, you lose a little bit of stability, not a ton of it. What is your reaction when Morgan's third eye opens?
Ken's just he's gonna see that and get all kind of wide-eyed and be like, what the fuck? Morgan, I don't mean to alarm you, but you seem to have a third eye.
Okay, so your notice. I'm gonna have you not. I've got information if you want to spend a point of notice.
Yeah, I'll spend it.
Okay. How many points did you have? How many points do you have now?
Just 1 and down to 0.
All right. So you still have the notice skill, right? You just until you restore points. The third eye that he has in his forehead has got this beautiful, like green and brown hazel to it. And it's got like a little freckle on its part of the iris. And I'm going to let you wildly guess the last time you saw this eye. And that is when Sam was helping you out yesterday. That's Sam's left eye.
Well, Morgan, on a little bit of a bright note, I think we found Sam's eye. And I'm kind of thinking you're not crazy right now. I'm starting to believe you guys.
Ken, can you close the curtain around me, please?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll start pulling them.
Okay, so I need that difficulty 4 stability. Or no, did we do the stability test yet?
No.
No, we need to do that. Okay.
Okay.
The curtain starts to close. Is the eye closing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll spend 1 point.
All right, so that gets you down to 1 stability, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just need target number 4.
I didn't see that.
So that was just
Oh.
the spend. I
Oh,
didn't see
okay,
the
okay, okay.
result. So now you got to do the actual roll.
Yeah. Oh,
Good spend. You rolled a 3 plus the 1. There is no stability loss as you close that eye. You now have the curtain closed around you. Let's jump downstairs to our attempts to call out. You just got done leaving the voicemail, Sam.
Okay. This may be insane, I'm going to walk through the children's ward.
Yeah, perhaps they've got clothes there, or at the morgue. You know, dead people usually
Yeah.
have clothes.
Okay. Let's go to the morgue. Yeah.
Perhaps there's boots from the technicians. Let's see. You know, let's first try the doctor's office. Perhaps it's not locked.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys head down towards the doctor's office. You walk past the children's ward, and you reach now the doors that are across from each other, right? You've got the office and the examination room are across from each other. And then what you'll hit is the children's ward, then the morgue. So we're going to stop at the morgue.
Yes.
Or are we going
the
to
doctor's office first? I think we passed the doctor's office first. So let's try that first door.
No, the doctor's office is farther.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
so
Okay. If the
child's
morgue's
ward.
first. Okay. We're not going to bother children at this point.
If there's children.
If there's children. Well, let's see if we can find anything useful in the morgue.
Angela's been here. Angela pushes the door open, and if you remember, on the table was our friend. The table is now empty.
Okay.
Are there any
Clothes.
lab coats? Anything hanging up? Any boots? Any clothes? Just
So you can see to the left, you can see there are lab coats. You can also see where there's gloves and masks stored as well. There seems to be lockers at the far side. If we head towards the lockers, you go through the lockers, and let's have you find clothes. Let's have you find two jackets. I don't actually. Yeah, it's winter. So I would imagine, just like everybody in upstate New York, they've got their walking in the snow shoes, like the moon boot, big boots for walking in the snow. Then you switch into sneakers when you get into the work. So let's go ahead and let's have jackets as well as shoes.
okay. I just grabbed the first two, and I grab one for me, and I hand over the other one to Angela. I'm like,
so
jackpot, we're in business.
I love this. So in case we get caught, we can't sound like we're insane.
No. We're just getting out of here. We're just going to go home. Yeah. So get dressed, get out of here. Yeah. And I look around, and are there any knives?
Oh, I think there definitely has to be. Yeah, there's definitely got to be. There's got to be at least a bone saw, right? There's got to be a scalpel. Yeah.
I'm going to grab a scalpel. I'm going to grab a scalpel and put it in my put it in the pocket of the coat. I'm like, this is crazy. Let's get out of here. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Angela, you see her put a scalpel in her pocket. Are you grabbing anything?
Is there anything small that can be concealed besides the bone saw?
There's more scalpels. If you want to grab another scalpel, you have no trouble.
I'll take a scalpel. Yeah.
Right. All right. So you both have a scalpel, no trouble hiding that in the pocket.
Yeah.
So you head back down. And this is now the first time or the second time you've gone down the hallway. Off of the one thing that I failed to mention, this is my fault. You do see double doors that are interior double doors on the other side of the waiting room that says ER at the top. You go to your door, which has now closed itself. The front door has closed itself.
It's cold out. But
how far away are we from anything, Sam?
Well, this isn't the best part of town, but
You're about 6 miles.
6 miles from. Well, it's going to be a long walk. I look down at my boots and I pull. Oh.
I want to go to see if I can find car keys.
Good idea.
All right, so you head to the nurse's station, and we're gonna look for some car keys.
Yeah.
We cut back up to Ken and Morgan.
So I think Morgan's laying down in bed, kind of thinking about all of this, meditating, which is my source of stability.
And that allows you to restore some stability. Do you have that open by any chance to know how much? I'll give you
No.
I'll give you a chance to look at it. So we see Morgan close his eye, all three of his eyes, and really starting to find your center, right? And start to use your source of stability. Every character has a source of stability, and meditation is one of Morgan's. Ken,
I think it's just 1 point.
okay, great. Go ahead and restore it for me. And we're going to say that takes about 20, 30 minutes, if that's okay. Ken.
Ken's going to start getting his clothes on and start talking to Morgan. Just while he's meditating, he's just kind of rambling. Morgan, I think you guys were right. We need to get the hell out of here. There's something going on with your eye. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I'm not 100% sure that you guys aren't crazy, but if you are crazy, so am I. And let's definitely get out of here. And he's just trying to get his clothes on, pack his whittling knife up, and just, yeah, you guys were definitely right. We need to get out of here.
I don't think we're getting out of here. At least not in the shape we're in now. I'm going to stay.
You want to stay?
Yeah.
You do realize you have an extra eye right now, right?
I know that. I think I want to stay. Honestly, what's for me out there now? I'm a freak with an extra eye. How far do you think I'm going to get?
I don't know. The circus is
You know
always
it's gonna
hiring.
You know I'm going to slip sometime and open it in front of people, and you know what's going to happen then? What do you think?
You're going to be a millionaire on the internet.
No, I'm going to be put in a place like this. I'm not leaving right now. I want to see what's going to happen here. Morgan right now is more calm than he's been since he's been here, I think. You know, he was a guru, right? He believed in spiritual things before and talked about centering yourself and talked about, you know, trying to visualize things. And for him, this is kind of interesting.
Well, that's your choice. I'm just going to toss my clothes on. I'm just going to start heading down the hallway, hoping for the best, because I have no idea where the stairs are.
So you're going to go the same path that Sam and Angela went, right? You're going to get to the elevator, realize what the situation is there. In fact, I think you probably saw that when you went to go help Morgan, but you noticed the sign this time. And if your goal is to get out of here, you would follow that sign. You go to the staircase and you start head down. I do need the loss of 1 health.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the bottom of the staircase, you come out. And as you come out to Sam and Angela wearing snow boots and jackets, walking past the stairwell.
I'm starting to think you guys aren't completely crazy. You do know that Morgan has an extra eye, right?
Ken,
Yeah.
did you hear? Help us find keys. We're looking for car keys. Help us find car. And I'm going to check the pockets of the coat I'm wearing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So help us. There's got to be car keys. They must have come by car here. So the taxi service. Yeah. The taxi service.
Keys.
Oh, wow. Yes. We're
All right.
working with guests.
I'm so nervous. This is going so well, guys.
Yeah.
All right, which way's the parking lot?
We
It's
just go
gotta be-
around the building.
Yeah.
We will find
Ken,
it.
does Ken have shoes?
Yeah, he would have had his clothes
Okay,
in
good.
his box.
Perfect.
Okay, let's push open the door, go out, and I'm just gonna. Is it one of those electric fobs that you can beep so that you can press? So that it'll, yeah. Okay, so I'm just.
Let's talk about what you see when you push out, though.
Yeah.
Right. So you again some resistance. enough to get out there. You come out, you can see the turnabout where people would drop off patients. You see a special lane off to the left where the ambulances would come. They would go, obviously, would take people through this same door to get to the emergency room. You see the long drive, which has been plowed since this morning. And you see the parking lot. There's several cars. You hit your fob and you hear beep, beep. You see headlights go on a little Honda.
Okay.
How deep was the snow?
It's about a foot and a half.
I'm not sure that Honda's going to be able to get through this. Is it?
It's plowed. Yeah.
It's plowed? All right, let's go.
The Honda was obviously not there last night when it snowed, because even if it was, they would have plowed around it, right?
Mhm.
This is good. This is going to work.
And did Morgan like get kidnapped? Like what?
No, he said he wants to stay. He said he's got a third eye. There's no life form outside of here, and he's curious what's going to happen.
You can always wear a hat, but whatever. Let's
That's
just
what
get
I told
out
him.
of
He can
here.
make money on the internet. He can make money
Yeah, I mean,
anywhere.
if he wants to
Okay.
say, he wants to say. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Okay, you guys make it to the hatchback Honda. 2-door. Who's sitting in the back? Who's driving? Who's in front?
I can sit in the back.
I've got the car keys. I'm just sitting down behind the wheel.
Ken has shotgun. You guys
Shotgun.
hop in, you turn, all the lights come on for the battery. And you
What?
see the fuel gauge as the electricity turns on, drop to 0.
Whose car is this?
I'm going to keep on cranking the key.
Sam,
But-
stop. Just pop the hood. Let me see what's going on.
Okay.
I'd like to take a look at the engine.
While they're
So-
being useful, I want to reach over in the glove compartment and see if I can find cigarettes. A lighter.
Angela, let's say you do. I think you do find cigarettes. So I think that whoever is the works in the morgue here, let's have them have a backup pair of, and it's like the super nasty cheap cigarettes, right? It's not like Marlboro or anything or American Spirit, right? It's like nasty, like it says cigarettes on it. That's all.
If she finds a lighter, she's gonna smoke in the car or step outside the car and smoke because she's like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Okay, that is your source of stability. Let's add 1 stability back for Angela. Can you pop the hood? You got mechanic skill?
Sure do.
Okay, great. So looking at the car, everything seems connected. Everything's working. The sound you heard, even though you may not have been able to see the dash because Sam was sitting there, is there's a fuel problem, right? You could tell that the battery's working, the starter's trying to go, but it could not fire a piston. It did not seem to have any fuel.
Who the hell parks a car with no gas in it?
Someone that works with dead bodies.
Let's go find another car.
Okay.
And I just, get up, get out, close it, and start heading back to the hospital.
I start heading back to the hospital. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
As that's happening, there is a car pulling up. It will not reach the parking lot before you reach the hospital, but I want you to know that there is a sedan that's pulling up, coming down the drive.
I'm going to, when I see the car approaching, I'm going to stop and wait for it.
Okay. So the sedan parks, the door opens, and our favorite head nurse steps out in her regular clothes. She's got a huge bag that she kind of lugs up onto her shoulder, and she locks the door, and she doesn't have a fob or anything, right? She just cranks it, puts the keys in her pockets, and starts to walk towards the front of the hospital. I'm going to give you half a second where she does not notice you yet.
Is there any mounds of snow to go behind?
Oh yeah, it'd be easy to hide behind the bushes that are on either side of the main entrance. Is that where Angela's going?
Absolutely.
Okay. Sam and Ken, you see Angela ditch it.
I'm gonna jump in after her.
I'm just gonna hide behind the car.
Okay, great. So all of you guys are hiding. So guess what I need? I need a hiding roll from each one of you.
Oh
If you have
damn!
if you have points in hiding, you can spend it.
Don't.
Right. So we see Ken without any difficulty getting behind the Honda, hiding away from our nurse. We see Angela get behind a bush there at the edge of the parking lot without a doubt. We see Sam. And I need some help here, Naomi. You're going to be seen, but I want to know why.
I think I trip. You know, kind of a trip over the
On the
snow,
ice.
and the boots were way too large, and so I just, you know, I kind of trip and fall on my ass.
And we hear a from
Ah,
you.
ooh.
And Nurse Mathers turns and she goes, "My God, what are you doing out here?" And she starts walking towards you.
I look around at the other two
They're
and
gone.
then
You don't
just
see them.
don't see them. I just, you know, push myself up and kind of trying to stand up straight and says, I was checking myself out.
You are in no condition to do that. Like these are obviously not even your clothes. Let me help you back in. Let me help you back in. And she's not being like threatening, right? And maybe the kindest she's ever sounded, and she doesn't sound kind, so it's relative, right? And she's like, "You need to come inside here. Let me help you. Let me help you."
I'm torn, and then I'm okay, but I want to check out. I need to check out.
That's fine. You don't do that in the parking lot.
Okay, no, that okay, and you know, I'm gonna look back and then
There's rules. There's a process.
Well, there's process in not moving people in the middle of the night to another hospital, and
that's on county, and that's you could bring it up to them. So sue their asses. I don't care. We need to get you back inside. I need you to get you back in your room. And if you want to check yourself out, that's fine. And she kind of looks at her watch.
I'm gonna let her lead me in.
Okay. So she starts to
I'm cold.
lead you in. All right. How about our two hiders?
Oh, I don't move at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, after she gets inside, I'm going to try to make my way over to Angela.
Okay.
Like, Angela, her car obviously works.
We need her key.
Exactly. If we get her key, we can get the hell out of here.
Agree. We gotta. Oh, shit. We might gotta go back for Sam.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to go back inside.
So Ken, remind us of your risk factor.
Protective.
Yeah. Yeah. So every character in Fear itself has a risk factor. And this is what has them opening doors they shouldn't open. It has them, and every horror film, everybody does something they shouldn't have done. And that's mechanically, that's a risk factor. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands what's driving Ken at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the smart person, the selfish person would be like, peace. But not Ken. All right. So we're headed back in.
Yeah.
Well, let's wait a few minutes, see where she.
Yeah. Let's not follow too closely. But once she puts her coat down, we can nab those keys, go get Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan is choosing to stay. That's on him. But
he has an eye in the middle of his forehead. It's okay if he stays here.
Well, it's his choice too. He's a grown-ass man. He can make his own decisions.
Sam, you brought into the main waiting area by Nurse Mather. She drops that huge bag at the front check-in nurse's station. She's walking you down. Interrupt me at any point, obviously. She's walks down the hallway, gets to the elevator, and she goes, "Son of a bitch." Walks down the hallway with you, heads towards the staircase. As she turns the corner, we see our nurse again. The nurse that you had not met yet. the woman with the very, very thick glasses. She's standing there and she goes, "Oh, Nurse Mather, you're early." Nurse Clayton, I have got a patient who's outside wearing this, saying she's going to check herself out. Where are you? Where is Nurse Dampier? I was at the archives putting away the patient's records. That's what Nurse Dampier told me to do. I think Dr. Drake's in his office. I was not in charge. That's on Nurse Dampier. That is not on me. Oh my God, that is not on me. She goes, well, it's responsibility of all of you. And she just storms past. Do we cut to you coming back to the room, Sam? Or do you want something to happen before that?
I think that I'm going to go along with her.
So you come back, and Nurse Mathers throws the door open to the room, sees the curtain pulled on Morgan's bed, sees the rest of the beds empty. Where the hell is everybody else? She goes, get in your bed. And she points to your bed.
Okay.
We'll do paperwork and everything. I'll get Dr. Drake should be here. I'll talk to him. We'll get you. I don't even want you here. She walks over. She pulls the curtain on Morgan and sees him laying there, quiet and silent. She goes, well, at least one of you is here. She closes the curtain. She goes, you do not move.
Should I take off these clothes? I'll get back in bed. Thanks. And
Get back in
I'm
bed.
sorry. I'm sorry to be a bother. It's just it was a thanks for the checkout. And yeah, it was. I don't know what I was thinking.
I'm doing this to protect you. You are not well. You've been in the hospital for months. I saw your chart. This is not a nice place. I get it. I don't love this place any more than you do, but I do care about you, and I want you to be healthy. And you wandering around and some
Nurse Mathers.
others out there.
Sorry, Nurse Mathers. You saw my chart.
Yes.
Do I have 2 eyes or 1?
Do you have 2 eyes or 1?
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. You have 2. Good Lord. Okay.
No. Sorry. Did I lose an eye as a child? You saw my chart.
I don't know. I don't remember seeing that. And she walks over to your chart. She pulls it and she flips up and she goes, oh, yeah, I guess you did. It says here when you were 13, your left eye. Listen, dear, this is a lot. And I understand that. The only way we can keep this place going is if you stay healthy. And that's why I follow these rules. That's why we do things. For some reason, I've lost Naomi again on my screen. I'm just going to do a quick refresh for everybody. In fact, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break. We'll be right back. right, we are back. Technical difficulties resolved. Let's do a quick level set on where everybody is. We're going to jump to Sam getting dressed down by our head nurse. We have got our two of us are outside in the parking lot hiding. And then we have got Morgan. You are doing your best to meditate. At any point, you can stop your meditation. You still gain you still have your stability that you resolved from that. So she is dressing you down, Sam, and she says, "Look, I'm just doing this to keep everybody healthy and to keep everybody okay. I need to find your two friends and figure out where they are." And then the door opens, and in comes Dr. Drake. Finally, you're here. Yes, Miss Mathers. Do you see what time it is? It's 8:00. This is when my rounds start. Where is Angela and where's Ken? I don't know. Morgan is behind the curtain. I just caught Samantha outside trying to check herself out. She's in no condition. I know she's in no condition. Doctor, just would you attend to her, please? Yes.
That's all right. That's fine. I'm sorry to have been a bother. I'll return the clothes. I'll get back into bed. Don't mind me. Sorry about that.
And Miss Mathers storms out. Dr. Drake is there. He goes, Are you okay, Sam?
Yes, sorry. It's been a lot. I think I'd like to check out. And I didn't go about it the right way. I'm sorry for that. We'll go through the process. I think Dr. Haverly's coming in today, isn't he? He can do a final check. I can check out, and I'm sorry about this.
And that's fine. I can't keep you here. If you want to check yourself out, you're welcome to. Can I at least look you over? And you see him kind of pull his stethoscope off his neck.
Okay. And I'm gonna sit on the side of the bed.
And he checks your pulse, pulls out a blood pressure cuff, puts it around, checks your blood pressure. Your blood pressure is very, very high. It's elevated.
It was cold out.
And why you're still not fully healed? I'd like to keep you here for at least another week, or so, to make sure you're okay. Obviously, it's not my call. Ultimately, it'll be Dr. Haverly. You're his patient, but I don't think that you're ready. I don't feel comfortable with you checking out.
Dr. Drake, I'll be fine. And then I'm going to reach out and put my hand over his hand and look at him and say, I'm going to ask you a question, and it might sound a bit weird,
Okay.
but you checked me over yesterday,
Yes.
etc. Did I have two real eyes yesterday?
Well, if I remember correctly, you lost your left eye.
Yes, of course I did. And
I didn't check though. Do you want me? Is it irritating you?
No, it's fine. It's fine. And I just kind of sit back and. It's fine. I'll give it some thought. I think I just had I don't know what I was thinking. It was a long night. As Nurse Mathers, I'm sorry to be a bother. I'll just take a quick shower and I'll get into bed and we'll speak to Dr. Haverly and see if he agrees to let me check out or not.
And he should be here. He usually comes right after lunch. Do you need help in the shower?
No, that's fine. And I'm just going to get up and, try not to be too conspicuous about it, but back away from him.
Okay.
I'm like, sorry to be a bother. I'll be fine. I'll get back into bed. And when Dr. Haverly comes, and it'll be, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to check on Morgan. Yeah. So Morgan, curtain opens up and there's Dr. Drake. How are we feeling this morning, Morgan?
I think we're feeling okay. Something happened earlier. Just
what happened?
I got so dizzy and really confused. And
okay.
For a minute,
do you feel dizzy now?
I feel better now.
Okay.
I just wasn't myself. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna just check you over. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So he, does the blood pressure, starts to do the whole thing. Let's jump back out to the parking lot.
Any indication that Nurse Mathers came back downstairs?
Well, did you guys go back inside, or did I lose track?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we're heading back inside. Yeah.
All right. So let's have you get back to the empty waiting area.
Okay, well, we can't be out in the open when she gets down here.
Well, we need to go upstairs and get her keys, and we need to get Samantha.
Both
So,
of these things are true.
Maybe if you stash those clothes and we just act like you went outside for a cigarette, maybe we were looking for a vending machine because we were hungry.
Okay. Yeah.
And
That's brilliant, actually.
And when we find Nurse Mathers, maybe you give her a big hug and try to steal her keys.
I can do that.
So you have no trouble stashing the clothes.
Okay.
So that's not a big deal. And as you kind of like, where do you stash them?
I want to say inside of a garbage can.
No trouble there, right? So there's one a garbage can that's covered. It's got the little swingy thing there. You lift it up, you pull the bag back, right? And you stuff
Yes.
the clothes, put the bag there, boom, put it back on. As you put it down, you hear a voice. There you two are. And you guys turn and you see Nurse Mather.
Oh, hi,
What
Nurse
are
Mather.
the two of you doing out of bed?
I'm so sorry. I just needed to get a cigarette.
Yeah, I was hungry. I was just looking for a vending machine.
Yeah. We didn't see Nurse Dampire at all today.
You haven't seen her all day?
No.
Okay. And she walks towards you and you see her give that look of, I can smell the smoke on you. Right? So there's going to be, you don't need to do any roll as far as deception or anything because your story lines up. and she says, look, if you need to go out for a cigarette, I need you to go out with Elf or with a nurse or something. I can't just have you wandering the halls by yourself. And a patient can't be like, you guys need to have somebody with you.
Okay.
Well, we were with each other.
I understand that, but there are rules. I can't be. You guys go out there, you slip on the ice, you hurt yourself, and I get sued and I get fired. And there are rules in place to keep you safe.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm asking is you follow the rules. So you can go. I don't care if you smoke 2 packs of cigarettes today. I just don't want you doing it without a nurse or a porter with you. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want the 2 of you back upstairs. I need to find Nurse Dampier.
Okay. Is there any possible way I can get a hug from you? Because I feel like you're the only nurse I can actually rely on in this place.
This is going to take a roll. So let me take a look here.
Negotiation?
Yeah, let's use an investigative ability. It is going to take a point of that in order for you to get away with it. Okay. So spend that point. And she goes, a hug. And she opens her hands up and it's kind of like looking up at the ceiling.
So I go in for a hug. Can I use Filch?
You can use Filch.
I will spend 2 points.
Okay, so it'll be difficulty 4. You're going to spend 2 points, and we're trying to filch her keys.
All right.
The 3 plus the 2. It's a good thing you spent some points. Get you a 5. You give her a hug, and she's a healthy woman. You kind of go around and you kind of reach into her like the little pockets that are in the nurses' outfits, and boom, you grab the keys. And she comes back and she doesn't hug you back. She just has her arms up to allow you to squeeze her. She goes, "Are you done?"
I give her like another second. Then yeah, she's done.
Back up to the room.
Yes, right away. And if
So-
if Nurse Dampira can bring up food, that'd be great too.
I will have food brought up to you. It's 8 o'clock. You guys have already had your breakfast by now. So when it's lunch, your lunch will be brought to you. There's a structure in place. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So Morgan, you're getting checked over by Dr. Drake. He's being very nice. He's, asking you just like, basic questions. Have you ever had fainting spells before? The whole diagnostic that he's doing.
Yeah.
Do you have notice?
I think. Yeah, I have 1 point.
Okay. So you're going to get something for free.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to give you, actually, you don't need to spend for notice. You get this for
Okay.
free for notice. And it's not that it wasn't there before, but this may be the most focused and centered you've been. He's really up close to you. You notice that he has got some sort of gold chain necklace, and it falls just under his shirt. And as he goes down to test your reflexes, he leans forward, and you see there's kind of a pennant attached to this gold necklace. And it's a pennant of a gold or a brass key that's twisted, right? That's kind of warped. Now I'm
Mhm.
going to take a quick look at your character sheet before I keep talking. You do have occult studies.
Yes, I do.
Would you like to spend a point in occult studies?
I sure would.
All right, you spend that point, though you
Mhm.
do not recognize this exact twisted key. You know it has something to do with the occult. And it has something to do with, and you can't put your finger on it. You don't know where you read this or whatever, but you've seen that key before. And it has something to do with unlocking death. But you
Okay.
can't quite piece it together.
Yeah. I'm going to play it cool, like I haven't noticed anything. One of the things I'm trying to do, Morgan's trying to be very calm and quiet to get this doctor out of here because he really would like to speak with Sam privately.
Okay. He says, look, you look fine. Like I said, Dr. Haverly should be here after lunch. Samantha, at this point, we can hear the shower running, I assume. Are you actually going to take a shower, Sam?
I think while he was examining Morgan, I slipped the scalpel beneath my pillow, and then I went into put the shower on, didn't get in, but took the clothes off, wet my hair a little bit, and then come out while he's not watching, got into bed and put the clothes near the door.
Perfect. And he steps out.
So I'm going to try to be very calm and kind of reassuring. And Sam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I've grabbed my crochet and I'm crocheting.
You can go ahead and
I'm
add
here.
stability.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here, Morgan. And I look at the door. Is it closed?
It is closed. In fact, I want to do this. I want Morgan to gain a stability. I want Sam to gain 2 stability, 1 for the assurance and 2 for relatively safe right now, right? You've survived encounters with the nurse. You've survived encounters. Oh no, you didn't need to roll stability. I'm
No, sorry. No,
Sam.
I didn't. It was my
Yeah.
bad.
Okay. And you're using your source of stability. So this is shockingly like the safest you felt today.
So
But
I
so
said,
you're crocheting.
yeah, I'm here, Morgan. It's you. Are you all right? Don't trust
Sam,
that
I'm
guy.
so sorry. I am so sorry.
You didn't do anything. It's
I I never would have wanted any of this, right?
none of us do. We're going to get out of here, Morgan. But don't trust that doctor.
Sam, I'm thinking more clearly than I have in months. Sam, something's going on,
Yeah.
and I'm terrified, Sam. And
What do you think I am? You know,
I
yesterday I had 2 eyes. Yesterday I had a womb.
Sam, I can see things. I can see things about people. And Sam, I just noticed something on the doctor. Do you believe that there are things outside of reality?
At the moment, to be honest, I don't know what to believe. But not that doctor. Because yesterday I had 2 eyes. He examined me and just now he said I lost an eye. He's in on it.
He is in on it, Sam. I saw something. I don't exactly know what it means, but it's something that I came across in some books I probably shouldn't have been reading. And I'm scared, Sam, and I don't know that I don't know Ken that well. He doesn't seem to, hasn't had the same experiences. And Angela,
We've
I
got
don't
to
know.
stick together. I mean, I don't trust that doctor, but I think I can trust you, and I think I can trust Angela, and Ken seems fine as well. So
Sam, I'm going to play it very cool. I'm going to try to go along with things a little bit. I've got to get out of here, but seriously, I've got an extra eye. That sounds absolutely ridiculous, but what's for me?
but
What else are they going to do to us, Sam?
what tomorrow you wake up and you don't have a leg, or you don't have an arm, or you wake up dead.
Sam, this sounds really stupid, so please just, I looked at Elf. I can see things about people. Ken was there. I could see what Ken looks like when he's old. I could see what Ken looked like when he was young. I couldn't see anything about Elf. He was just standing there. I'd like to try to find out a little more about others, but I'm kind of afraid to use it. First of all, it makes me sick. And second of all, who else is looking in on it, Sam?
We've got to get out of here. I mean, it's something's not right here. I mean, we tried to call a cab and they couldn't hear us. We got keys to the car and it was just fine. I started it and suddenly there was nothing. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think it's going to be as easy as just walking out of here.
well, evidently not. I tried that and that didn't work. But I don't know. We've got to watch out for each other. We've got to. I don't know. And I'm just furiously crocheting.
Do you know how they put you to sleep last night? I can't figure it out. I didn't eat the sandwich.
It was, I don't know. I think they must have anesthetized. You know, they must. I was in an operating room, and then I don't know. It's like when before you're operated. I think they just put me out. But we've got to try and get out before they take even more, or do even more to us.
I think I need to rest a little bit, but please, Sam, if you see I'm trying to move us or you see some, please yell at me. I am terrified.
We won't leave you behind this time. Don't worry. We'll just, rest. Let's rest. Don't trust Dr. Drake. Perhaps Dr. Haverly's coming in.
Don't trust Drake at all.
No.
That symbol that he's got on his necklace, see if you can see it next time.
Perhaps.
It looks like a key that's been twisted.
Okay, but
I want to make sure that I'm not seeing things.
I will, Morgan, and perhaps when Haverly comes in, perhaps we can get moved back to a real hospital.
Just be careful who you talk to.
Yeah. Yes.
And Morgan then just lays back down.
And John, I think you just muted yourself when you thought you were unmuting. We could hear your cough. So I just want to, can you talk?
Oh.
No, we got
you hear me?
Yep, we're
Okay.
good. Okay. So let's have Angela and Ken then walk into the room as that conversation finishes.
Guess what, guys?
We got a way out of here.
That's is that Nurse Ratchet's keys?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Are you guys ready to get out of here?
I am, but I think Morgan's a bit tired. And do you think we'd be able to make it out? There's a lot more people now in the hallways, and they're watching
But if-
us.
If
So
we
I
wait
want to
too
get out.
long- If we wait too long, she might notice her keys are gone.
100%.
Well, let's hide them.
I'm gonna go into the bathroom, and the back part of the toilet where you can lift up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna toss the keys in there.
Plop.
I think they're watching us too. They'll be watching us now.
So how
Morgan
long do
needs
you
to
want
rest.
to wait? You think a couple hours?
Yeah.
I just need to rest a little bit, or I'm not going to be able to help you guys much.
Let's see if Dr. Haverly checks us out.
Do
If
we
we can get-
trust the doc? Do we really trust Dr. Haverly to try?
I don't know yet, but don't trust Dr. Drake.
Have you guys noticed anything about yourselves? I mean, anything strange?
Yes.
Other than the eye, have you had any other, like you just know things?
No, we need to get out of here. Does that count?
I just
Not really.
at most, I just have new non-cancerous growth tumors inside my body. That's new.
Well, I guess I'm the lucky one. And I just lay back down and close my eyes.
Could I see if I know anything about a third eye from using my occult studies? Because it's not.
And there's no
Okay.
spend to be gained here. I mean, it's all over the place, right? This concept of a third eye and being able to see, beyond the veil and being able to be fully aware and, all of that. So, with occult studies, you're fully aware of it, but I can't think of any type of information that would be beyond what you've got. So, no spend needed because I don't see anything gained from it.
Okay. Then Andrew's gonna sit on the bed and say, "So, you okay, Morgan?"
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
It's just too much right now. I just need to rest. I can't think about running.
Okay.
And I don't know who to trust.
Us.
I don't
We're in
know.
this together.
I know. It's just a lot.
So before I fast forward to lunch, I want to know if there's anything we want to do over the next couple hours.
A kid's going to continue working on that piece of wood that he was whittling on.
And that's your source of stability. So go ahead and add a stability for me, Ken. And if the four of you rest until lunch, each of you will regain 1 health.
Sam's just
Yes.
going to continue crocheting a long and rather thin shawl.
All right. So the door right at noon, just as Miss Mathers would want it to be, the door opens right at noon. And a cart gets pushed in with 4 covered trays, pushed by Elf. He doesn't say anything. He comes over and under your bed, Angela, he pulls out the tray, unfolds it, and and puts it over you. Comes over, grabs the covered dish, puts it down in front of you and puts down a spoon, and then pours you a glass of water in a plastic cup. And he's going to do that to each one of you. If you do nothing, he does nothing except serve you.
Thank you, Elf.
Hey,
As
Elf,
an-
when are you off?
He turns to you and acknowledges that you spoke words, but doesn't
Mhm.
respond otherwise.
Okay.
Grabs the cart. And then I'm going to have him leave unless we do anything else.
I'm gonna turn over to pretty much the rest of the group and ask, has he ever not been here? Like, he's here in the morning, he was here late at night, he's here in the afternoon.
He served us all our meals, right?
Mhm.
So
I don't see Dave as much.
does seem like he works a lot of hours.
It's
Mor-
kind of like,
Mor- Morgan said there was something. Is he still here? Is Alf still here?
Mm-mm.
Morgan said there was something funny about Alf. What's for lunch, by the way?
Tomato soup
Hmm.
with little tiny packages of oyster crackers.
I'm only going to eat the prepackaged oyster crackers.
I'm going to take all of it and dump it down the toilet.
Yeah, I'm not going
Mm.
to eat anything either.
I'm going to hand you my soup as well.
I lean
Angela.
over to.
I
go ahead.
got to know about the soup here, Angela.
she sees everyone else throw away the soup, so she'll just eat the oyster crackers.
Okay.
And
Go ahead, Morgan.
I lean over to Samantha. Is there any way you can crochet me a beanie
No
that would cover
problem.
the scar?
Will do. I hold up. I'm nearly finished with this rope.
Okay.
So, just as you're finishing up lunch, it is actually our new nurse, Nurse Clayton, comes in. She comes in and she comes over to you, Angela. Apparently, they all work left to right here, right? And you're on the left. So she comes over and she goes, "Oh, I see you. You ate your soup. Are you okay?
yeah, pretty good.
Do you need? By the way, I am Nurse Clayton. I'll be your nurse for the next few days. So if you need anything, you let me know.
Okay, what happened to Nurse Vampire?
I don't know. She was definitely sent home early. I know that I get a sense that Nurse Mathers is not real happy with her right now. I just hope she doesn't get fired. She's about the only other sane person that I'm sure maybe she'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, well, I'm sure you're good as well.
I'll do my very, very best.
Thank you.
And she puts it down. She grabs your chart and she's looking at your chart. Angela, and she goes, "Boy, it looks here like you definitely, I wouldn't, maybe 3 more days. You seem to be in really, really good shape." And I'm not even going to attempt this. She starts using some medical terms, talking about your chart, and it is. Does anybody have medicine or science?
I have medicine, but I don't have any points to spend anymore.
That's fine. So Sam, you pick up on this, that she is versed at a level that is way beyond nurse, right? That you would expect from a nurse as she's going through Angela's chart. There's things that she's noticing that somebody with more than a nurse's background would definitely need to know. She then goes to Morgan, small talks with you.
I want to see if I notice anything odd about her. Spend a point. If that's worth it.
You don't need to spend a point with notice.
Okay.
But let me give you with notice without a point spent. She definitely comes off very genuine. Mm-hmm. Right? Even more effusive than Nurse Dampier was. Maybe like a regular nurse would be in a regular hospital, right? But no, there's nothing that that comes off, and even with bullshit detector again, no spend. All of you get a sense that she's a very honest, and when she says I'll be here to help you, I want you to get better. As she goes through each of your charts and talks to you, she lets each of you know that she thinks at most a week will be here, which is great. She says, don't mind Miss Mathers. She's not a bad lady. She's just a hard ass. And I can tell you that she wants you all to get better. She wouldn't, she's actually, I wouldn't go as far as to say she's a nice lady, but she is something. But I can tell you, I've worked with her for 8 months now, and she's a good nurse. She's a stickler for the rules.
That's fair. She's good. Wait,
Mhm.
a quick question. How long has Dr. Drake been working here? A few years?
He was here when I got here. I've been here 8 months. And she kind of looks around. She goes, Dr. Haverly's your doctor, right? He's a better doctor. I think Dr. Drake's heart's in the right place. But in my technically unqualified opinion, I would get a second opinion if Dr. Drake recommends anything that seems odd.
If I could, I reach out and take her hand, just like, she's being reassuring. Try to get her to look at me, and then I open my eye. I want to see what happens. Sorry.
Oh boy. Okay. So, she clears your plate. She puts it down. She comes back to you and she goes, you let me know. And she's kind of patting your hand. You let me know if you need anything, Morgan. And you put your hand on top of hers.
Mhm.
And you look at her, and she's kind of like with an anticipating look on her face. And your eye opens. Let's talk about what you see first.
Mhm.
You see her. You see her skull, her brain, her lungs. As she's breathing, you can see them inflating and deflating. You see a little girl getting accepted to medical school. You see her testing. You see her sick father. She's by a bed, and it's her father. It's her father, and he's not well. You see a stack of bills. You see her older, maybe 10 years older, sitting in class, studying and taking notes in a huge classroom. Everything, future back, all of the stuff that we've talked about. And from an aura reading, she is a kind, good person. And that is everything that you read. There is nothing that gives you any sense of deception or evil or anything. Let's quickly do the stability test. So it'll be difficulty 4, and then let's talk about poor Miss Clayton.
Can I see this, by the way, from the other side of the room? Because I don't think I've seen it either.
That is up to you.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to spend 1 stability.
Okay. So that's going to give you a +1 on this.
Okay. Let me do it right here.
We need to hit a 4. All right, a 5 + 1 is a 6. So no stability loss.
Okay.
Here's what I think happens, Sam. If you're okay with this, I'm going to have her blocking your view. And then you see her step back. You see her pull her hand away, and you see the eye. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wait.
Oh my God. Quick stability test for you, Sam, but it's going to only be difficulty 4 because this is not a total surprise. There's been a lot of talk about third eyes.
I'll spend 1 point.
Okay, so all right. So just 1 stability loss from this. Oh my God. Oh my God. And she's backing away towards the door. She goes, you stay right there. You stay right there.
Wait,
Oh my God. Oh
nurse.
my God. And she's going for the door.
Wait, nurse. Are you okay? I'm gonna act like the eye isn't even there and she's completely crazy.
She's throwing the door open.
Oh, okay.
And she's gone. And the door slams shut.
What was that?
So I close my eye. And I'm going to play it off like, I don't know what's going on.
So she's not in on it?
She is a wonderful person and I feel terrible, but I just had to know if people could see it other than us.
You probably got her murdered.
Okay, I didn't think about that.
Well, I mean, well, if she tells Haverly, I mean, whoever put it in there, they know it's there, so they've got to know that we know. I don't know.
Of course they know that we know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're trying to do to us, but they put it there, like you said, they know what they're doing.
Do we try and get it?
Well, I imagine the nurse is distracted. This wouldn't be a bad time to leave.
I agree. We probably got a few minutes to hustle our sick self downstairs.
Yeah,
I hope
because
that
she's
no
more than
one-
likely going straight to Dr. Drake.
That may be a problem. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I
John,
think we need to hurry up and get out of here.
Ken, can you
Sorry?
help me? Can you help me move
Yeah.
faster?
I don't know if I can help you move faster, but I can
It
help you
just
move.
takes so much out of me.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Let's get dressed
Why get dressed? Do you
because
have
it's
a car?
cold out. It's cold out.
Yeah, Angela's actually going to put on her clothes that came to her as well, and go grab the keys.
Okay.
I don't think Morgan has any clothes because remember he was shot and no one's been here to visit him.
Well,
okay.
we know where there's a set.
We have some jackets. We have a jacket, some boots.
Okay.
We'll grab it on the way out. Maybe we'll grab a wheelchair to get you moving a little better.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are all prepping, grabbing keys, grabbing clothes, all dressed. We've got a plan to get Morgan clothed.
I want to peek my head out the door.
So you open the door and you peek Elf's torso.
Hey, Elf, I need to go grab a smoke.
Elf, get out of the way.
She moves.
No, he moves. And you see a face you haven't seen in about a week. Mid to late 50s. African-American man in his lab coat, doctor thing, stethoscope around his neck. He's got glasses, smiles, and he goes, Angela, you should be in bed. It's Dr. Haverly.
I should be smoking right now.
I thought we discussed that one of the things we were going to work on is that's going to kill you.
Life, I'm going to die anyway one day.
Sam. Or Angela, sorry. Angela. Get back into bed. Okay. Comes in, you're all standing up. He goes, Morgan, Sam, Ken, we're never going to get done with all of this unless you are resting and in bed. Can the three of you please get into bed?
What's all of this?
All of this, I'm sorry. Just everybody get back into bed. I apologize. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and figure out when we can get you out of here, when it's safe. I hear, Sam, that you want to be checked out. Let's definitely talk about that. But I'm going to need to do a full examination before I can back that. Dr. Drake has brought me up to speed, but I want to do a full examination for each of you. I needed to take a quick look at the old character sheet here. Okay, who wants to spend a point? Let's see. First of all, who has got something in interpersonal?
Bullshit detector?
No.
Okay.
Intimidation.
No.
Negotiation?
Something that maybe would give some insight on his feelings towards Dr. Drake.
Would shrink work?
Yeah. If you want to spend a point in shrink, I can give you a little bit of insight on how Dr. Haverly feels about Dr. Drake.
Okay, I'll do that.
So Morgan, you get a sense as he talks about Dr. Drake, you get a sense he doesn't have a whole lot of faith in him. So he keeps bringing up like, I know that Dr. Drake's been taking care of you, but now I'm here, right? I realize I've read Dr. Drake's notes, but I need to look you over. It's very obvious to you that Dr. Haverly doesn't have a whole lot of faith in Dr. Drake's abilities as a doctor and is going through and double checking everything. So that you get a strong sense of that. Is everybody following Dr. Haverly's instructions?
Andrew's going to
Yes.
sit on the bed and say, so why were we wheeled here in the middle of the night?
So of course, Nurse Mather called me immediately yesterday about this. I honestly don't know. And it's a little embarrassing. I don't know if it was a paperwork thing. It's a pain in my posterior that I have to come over here, to check on you. But quite honestly, with everything going on at county, with the COVID, we've gotten a resurgence in COVID. There's not a whole lot of beds. You're going to get fine care here. Nurse Mathers is a piece of work, but she'll keep you healthy and she'll keep you alive. Dr. Drake is fine, and you guys don't need a whole lot of medical attention. Really, the four of you we talked, need some rest. Obviously, I need to check you out, but I apologize. No one should have to go through that level of surprise. And I'm sure there'll be an investigation to figure out what happened, but it was not by my instructions. And if I could move you back to county, I would, because I just as soon not have to come here the next day or two.
Just a glance. Do I notice a chain around his neck?
You don't.
Or does he have a button? Okay. Morgan gets in bed, pulls the covers up.
Angela, Sam, and Ken?
I'm going to sit on top of the bed on the covers, but still clothed. Wait my
Same.
turn.
So he's going to go through his examination, far more thorough than Dr. Drake, a little bit more clinical, not quite as warm and kind. If you remember, Dr. Drake Dr. Drake always asks permission and stuff, and Haverly's acting like Haverly, right? There's nothing that any of you get a sense of that Dr. Haverly is different than he was when you guys were in county, and he's just going to do a thorough examination, takes your temperature, your pulse, your blood pressure. He's kind of doing the whole thing. You guys at any point can interrupt, obviously.
When it's my turn, and I can imagine, he's checking me over and my head and so, and I'm going to say, Dr. Haverly, you've been my doctor for over, what is it now? 3 months?
Yeah.
I was in I can't remember most of it because I was in a coma and head trauma and all that type of stuff. But
You're doing
just,
great.
Yeah, I'm feeling so much better. So I think I really can go home. But just a question. Are my eyes all right?
You know, I'm happy to check your eye, sure. And she goes to
No,
your
my eyes.
well, I'll check the prosthetic as well. And she kind of opens up your right eye. Or is it which one? Is your right eye? Which one's I can't remember.
The left one's the prosthetic.
Okay, yeah. So he opens up your red eye, takes his light, checks your iris and stuff. Yeah, your eye looks fine. And then he goes over to your left and he goes, "Is the prosthetic irritating you? Is
No,
it
no, no. It's just no. It's been fine, and I'm, well, I was just wondering. Just it's
okay?" And if it bothers you, I don't know the last time you've taken it out or you've cleaned it. So if it gets irritating, obviously I would do that. And if the cleaning doesn't help, then maybe we can talk about maybe getting a new one.
no.
We can figure.
Perhaps I'll clean it out this
Okay,
evening. I
okay.
think I've got some disinfectant, and yeah. So, do you think I'll be able to go home soon? I
Well,
think.
having looked at all of you, I've got to say, I'm going to recommend, you know, probably next Saturday. So maybe about 4 or 5 more days. And I'll do a final examination. And I think all 4 of you can probably leave.
Perhaps tomorrow? I mean,
Or today.
yeah.
So I don't
I mean,
think
I can.
today's a good idea. Sam, you know what I'll do is I'll leave him some instructions with Dr. Drake. And I'm going to give him some specific guidelines. And, I'll have him call me tomorrow after he looks you over. And yes, we can talk about it tomorrow. And I'll discuss it with Dr. Drake. Right now, I don't recommend you go home. I would hate for you to go home and, something to happen. And, the last thing you want to do is come back to the hospital. You've been here long enough.
Okay. Fair enough. And then I'm just gonna sit back and pull the covers over me and be quiet.
So while the doctor's looking at me, doctor, do you see anything on my head? It itches and kind of burns right on my forehead.
Sure. Let me take a look. And he comes over and he looks and he goes, "That is a nasty, nasty scar. You never told me, Morgan, where you got it. Did you fall? How old were you? Do you remember?"
Well, not very. It didn't happen long ago, I don't think.
No, it happened a while ago, Morgan.
Hmm.
And and if it makes you feel any better, honestly, nobody would notice it unless you asked them to look at it. It's very faint. It's, part of the beauty of aging is our little foreheads get a lot more wrinkly. So if you're self-conscious about it, I wouldn't be.
Oh, it just burns. I was wondering if there was anything, if I had a rash.
It doesn't look irritated, and he's putting his hands all over the damn thing.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it looks fine. If you want, I can have, I mean, are you feeling irritation anywhere else?
I'm feeling really irritated just
How about
because we
this?
talked about this before. I want to go home.
I understand that. How about this scar? And he pulls your shirt up to that scar that's on your torso. Is this irritating as well? It's not as old as the one on your forehead, but
now that you mention it, I do feel kind of a pulling when I move. Do you think there's scar tissue that's building up?
You know what? Let's do this. Let's get an MRI tomorrow. We'll do an MRI on your forehead. I'll do an MRI here. I mean, it was just appendicitis. It shouldn't be something that's, shouldn't be irritating you, but you never know, right? Something could happen 10 years later. But that's what we'll do. We'll get an MRI tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Last but not least, I have been told about 4 of you roaming around. I tried to give Dr. Drake some very clear instructions. You have, I know you guys are anxious, but in order for you to get better, you're going to have to rest. You're going to have to stay in bed and you're going to have to rest. I need you to eat. I need you to drink a lot of water. If you need something, you've got the buzzers, and he brings up Sam. He shows the buzzer to everybody that's on your bed. It says, hey, just I need all 4 of you to stay in bed. And he pulls out a syringe. So lay back, Sam.
That's fine. I don't need it. I'll go to sleep.
Sam,
It's
all
no,
this is just going to help you sleep, Sam.
no. It's that's fine. No. I've had enough drugs over the past 3 months. I really don't need any more.
Sam, I understand. Just lay back for me.
No. Dr.
Sam,
Haverly, thank you, but no thank you.
I appreciate it. I do, Sam. This is fine. It's going to let you take a nice nap. It's going to let you rest. And I promise when you get up, you'll feel much, much better. But I need you to stay in bed.
I will stay in bed. I'll
Sam,
definitely stay in bed, but
Sam,
I really,
lay down.
really, really, really don't want any more drugs.
I understand, Sam. I need you to lay down.
I am lying down.
Okay.
I'm in the
Then
bed.
He takes your arm and he's trying to twist your arm to expose the inside of your elbow.
I'm gonna keep pulling it back.
Sam,
So
No.
is Morgan's bed next to Sam's? Seems
So
like we were close
think you're
together.
opposite.
yeah, I've got
Opposite.
Angela by the bathroom. Going
Mhm.
clockwise, I've got Angela. I've got then Morgan. I've got Ken. And I've
Okay.
got Sam as closest to the front door. So you've got Ken between the 2 of you.
I want to take my pitcher of water and just try to create a disturbance. Throw it. Yeah, I'm going to throw it at the doctor.
Okay.
And
gonna
Ken's
try
gonna
and-
stand up and try to get in between them.
Okay.
Pull my
so-
arm and try and roll off the bed.
You can't. You can't force her to take the needle. You know that, Doc.
All right, so let's start with Morgan. Morgan, I want you to give me a shoot and roll.
Okay. What is shooting?
Should have it under your general skills.
Okay.
And guessing, like, not to get mechanical, he looks like a target 4.
Oh, I know I can't see. There we go. Yeah, I have nothing, so here we go.
We've got Green Arrow here. Ken stands up. Samantha's pulling her arm back, and Morgan grabs the pitcher of water and throws, and it knocks him in the head. He goes, "Oh my God!" And he turns and didn't see it thrown. But Morgan, what are you doing?
I think I am going to open my eye.
Oh, Jesus.
Why not?
Never give kids these cool toys.
Yeah, we try to ruin the game.
All right. Let's open the eye.
Mhm.
He gets hit. He turns to you. Morgan, what are you doing? And we see the eye open. You see the beginnings of the room, the end of the room. You see the hospital being torn down finally. You see Elf as
Uh-oh.
he's just standing there at the door. Not future Elf, not past Elf. You also see Dr. Haverly the same way. Let's do that stability test.
I'm just going to roll straight.
Ooh.
It's going to cost you 3. What's that do to you?
I think I'm panicked.
Okay. All right. And what's panic mean?
Flight mode. Stupid and ill-considered. Just pure instinct. So I think I'm going to jump out of bed and run straight for the door. I know Elf is there. Little Morgan's going to try to push him out of the way. I'm done. I'm gone. See
Yep.
you later.
So all of this is happening at once. You open the eye. The 3 of you are like, oh, geez, here we go. Haverly goes, oh, Morgan, as you stand up and run, and I'm going to need a scuffling roll. And that is going to be against a 6.
Okay.
I also need you to drop a health for me as well.
Okay.
No, let me try it.
So you come up to Alf, and how are we going to try to navigate around Alf? Because he is the door.
So panicked and ill-conceived ideas. I'm just going to straight for his midsection like I'm tackling him.
And you do, and he does not give an inch. Barely acknowledges like the physics of you physically running into him. He grabs the back of your neck, the scuff, and he lifts you like a dog, like a puppy, and is holding you up. Alf, put him back in bed.
God, Sam, stab his ass.
I think Sam's risk factors. I think poor impulse control. Act first, think later. I think she's gonna grab the scalpel from underneath her pillow and just try and stab Dr. Haverly in the back.
Target number 4,
he's
scuffling, please.
Yeah. Scuffling. Oh, and I don't have any points in it. Damn it.
So you take a swing. He pulls back. Ken, I think you're up now.
All right. Yeah. Ken seen Elf pick up Morgan and start heading. He's just going to bum rush him and try to sucker punch him.
Okay, let's target number 6. Scuffling.
6. You said 6. I'd like to spend 2.
Okay. He is holding Morgan by the back of his neck. You stand up, Ken. You come forth and you go to sucker punch him. You turn and you hit. Where are you aiming at? Face?
Yeah.
And you punch him, and it's so not up. Right? You it lands. Your hand just hits. He turns to you. He's going to do a scuffling roll against you. What is your to hit?
3.
3. He goes to grab you, and you're able to pull back and pull away. Angela, all hell is broken loose.
Okay, Angela sees it's going down. Sam, fucking run. She's going to get out of bed as fast as she can and try to, while they're distracted fighting, try to run out the door.
You run right behind Alf. You go right to the door and run into Alf.
What?
Literally run straight into another Alf. He's blocking the door just outside in the hallway. And you fall back.
I'm going to attack Haverly then. This is all I got.
Okay. So you get up to head towards Haverly.
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Haverly. He says, but as you're kind of getting up and scuffling, all of this is happening. Ken, you've punched Alf. Morgan is being held by Alf. Sam has tried to cut Dr. Haverly, and he says, all of this stops. You all get back into your bed. Angela, I need a target number 4 scuffling.
Okay. I have nothing in scuffling, but a 6.
And what are we doing when we hit him?
Wow, didn't expect to pass that. As Angela, when she gets back up off her butt, she's just gonna go right for probably just punching his throat. Because that's the fastest way she learned how to take a man down.
Okay, let's do. It's going to do 1d6 damage.
All right. Un momento.
Oh! You knock him. You punch him right in the throat. He falls back onto the ground. He's like, he's holding his throat as you're standing over him. The second elf walks into the room. And he's going to grab for you. What is your to hit?
3.
He grabs the back of your waist and lifts you up.
Ugh.
And you are now like being held by the back of your pajamas, right? And you are just in the air as he's holding you up. Ken, you just got done punching him. Morgan, it's going to go to you. You're just got done throwing and hitting. You started all this.
Yeah, Morgan's still panicked, so he's just going to start, beating and pushing, and so there's really no thinking. He's just trying to get out of the situation.
Okay, give me a target number 6 scuffling.
Okay.
You are flailing around. Ken, you just got done punching Alf.
I'm gonna pull my knife out of my pocket and try to cut him in the throat.
All right. Let's do a scuffling roll. Target 6.
Like to spend 3.
Okay. So add 3 to your roll. That gives you your 6. 3 plus 3. Give me a 1d6 plus 1 damage. So you can just on the roller at the very bottom, you can add a +1 to it at the very bottom, then do a d6 and roll. Oh, 7. You pull the whittling knife out. You are now cutting him where you were. It slices through his kind of like half jacket that he wears as a porter. It slices through there. You see the knife slice into his skin. And the knife comes past. He does not seem to react. There is no blood. He's going to try to hit you.
Oh, no.
You said 3 is your target?
Yep.
Okay. He hits. Need you to take 8 damage, please. What does that do for you?
That takes me to 9.
He knocks you flat on your ASS. And it is, without question, the hardest Ken has ever been hit. Sam.
I think I've still got the scalpel. Haverly's down, right? Right?
Yep.
I want to, put the scalpel against his neck and just say, call them off. Call them off. And shout at the Alfs like, stop it or I'll stab him.
He exposes his neck to you and he says, do it.
Sam's hand is going to shake and she's going to look at the others.
Stab his ass!
Stab him!
Let's go to credits.
Morgan's still just crying and screaming.
Let's go to credits. We'll be back on the other side.
Oh.
Without question, one of the many things that I love about this hobby and about playing, especially with a table of this quality, is you never know what's going to happen. So I completely believe Morgan making that choice. I mean, because let's take us back to that situation. Morgan sees Samantha being forced to be drugged. Morgan, the last time he was drugged, bad things happen, right? That's anything you associate. So I completely believed it. But yeah, like, wow. I guess I think I want to start with Sam. Can we talk about where Sam is right now? I want to talk about Sam's sense of reality. So, and then we'll talk about Naomi. But first, I want to get a sense of what does Sam know and believe right now?
I think Sam doesn't really know. She's kind of there's this suspense of disbelief of what's actually happened. It's something bad is happening, and she's just trying to concentrate. I need to get out of here. Who can I trust? And she's kind of tried and compartmentalize, like just focus on the very next step right in front of her.
And what is Naomi's inventory right now?
I don't know. Naomi's thinking very hard on whether or not Sam would stab him. So I don't know.
I had to do the cliffhanger there because I don't know the answer either. It's a great way to stop.
So it's I don't know. I don't see a way out.
Yeah.
But it's all bad choices. We try to go along, but no.
All right. So let's talk star moments for you.
I think I really liked the moment when Morgan was back in the room, and he was like, kind of this meditation and acceptance, nearly, of like, oh, wait a minute, I'm wondering perhaps whether or not he's secretly happy about having gained this new power or something. So I really like that part.
I did too, Naomi, for a lot of reasons. And it was a connection I didn't even make until we saw Kevin role playing it, right? Like we have somebody who's a bit of a fraud, right? Who has made a living as kind of this meditation, mindfulness, wrote a bunch of books, has a podcast. I could almost, it's not hard for me to believe that there is maybe even a large part of Morgan that finally sees, like, maybe everything I've been talking about isn't bullshit, right? Maybe now I am connected to everything that I was talking about. Maybe this was supposed to, like, I believed all of it, absolutely all of it. All right, how about wishes for Naomi the player? What are we hoping to see in the next episode or two? What would you like to have resolved, happened, figured out? What are your wishes?
I'm hoping we somehow manage to connect with Nurse Mathers. I think that, yeah.
Like connect with your fist, or
no. I hope we can get her on our side. We've got her keys.
Yeah, so you do have her keys. You do have her keys. All right, Shadika, give me a sense of what's going on in Angela's head. What does she believe, not believe? Where's her headspace right now?
Honestly, for all she knows, she may be on another hardcore trip. It feels extremely real. At first, she does not trust Morgan at all because he has a third eye on his forehead. But toward the end, she did. She doesn't know if this is really happening or not.
Yeah.
But she knew when she ran into that second Alf, the only one she could actually hurt was the doctor.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. What does Shadika think?
Oh my gosh, I don't even this is just a conspiracy. He clearly got the characters moved over here to do experiments because it could be like we're the forget-me-not characters. We don't really have not necessarily people that love us, but if we go missing, no one's going to be upset. In a sense, is what I'm gathering from everyone telling their stories and interacting.
So we talked at the end of episode 2, we did this, and I want to do it again with you, Shadika. We talked about who do we trust, who do we not trust. We had a kind of a list going, right? I want an update. So can you?
Yes, I knew we could trust Nurse Mathers this entire time. She's not a good person, but she's trustworthy. Nurse Clayton has been cleared and she's new. Angela got Dampire in trouble to get her kicked out of there.
Didn't trust her?
No. Mm-mm. Everyone else, don't trust them. Dr. Drake, don't trust them. Haverly, didn't trust him before, still don't trust him.
Perhaps Dave.
Reason.
Yeah, Dave. Maybe Dave's okay because he's like, I don't know, there hasn't been anything off with Dave, even though he's a little bit strange. But everyone who looked at Sam's eye and said, "Oh, this is normal," they're just gaslighting us to the fullest.
I loved Naomi you using that as a litmus test.
Yes,
I thought that was fantastic. As soon as you did it the first time, I'm like, "Oh, that's brilliant!
that was
Brilliant."
that was beautiful. So
All
that's,
right,
that's my new list.
Star moment or two. When were you in?
When Morgan went absolutely crazy and said he's staying in the hospital. Wasn't even there for that. When he lost his marbles and said, "I'm staying here. This is the best I got right now." That was for sure the star moment for me. Oh, and when freaking Ken finally understood what was happening. And he just had the most calm, cool, and collective.
I love how Ken is like, "Do you know how much money you make on the internet?" Like, dude, you'll have so many subscribers on Twitch.
Yeah,
You can start your own podcast, maybe live stream.
That moment in general, that was my star moment.
That was pretty good. Okay, wishes for you as a player, and I want to start by saying one of the dangers in an investigative mystery horror genre is the players becoming frustrated, right? So there's a certain degree of, things are going to get worse. Your options are going to be narrowed down. Resources are going to be taken away from you. It's a cornerstone of the genre. But you also need to get a sense that I'm learning more, that like I'm getting a clear picture of what's happening. And I want to know for you, Shadika, where is that balance for you right now? Are we in balance? Are we out of balance?
I feel like as a player, because of how I created Angela, we're in balance. We're balanced. Sorry, not in balance. We're balanced. And the information that she will be able to pick up as herself. So in saying that, playing Angela, I don't expect to find out what's happening.
You just want to live at this point.
It's all about living. Maybe her risk factor is going to come into play soon, probably.
What is your risk factor for everybody?
Oh my gosh, thrill seeker.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
a great risk factor.
absolutely. And it's been nothing but like a fever thrill seeker dream currently.
So what are you wishing for then in the next episode or two, Shadika?
Oh, Dr. Havley to explain himself. Maybe we'll get that. That's a wish.
And then the last question I'm going to ask everybody but Naomi. Should Naomi cut his throat or shouldn't she?
At 100%.
Yep, 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not going to do any good, but they don't know that yet.
It's therapeutic. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could, like, this hesitation Sam has there, like imagine that, like she's like threatening him. I've got him. I'm going to cut him, call him off. And he's like, go ahead, and exposes his neck to her more. It's like, ah! All right. Let's quickly talk about Morgan. Where is Morgan? I think this is the one I'm dying to hear.
I think Morgan's he's flipping around a little bit. So first of all, you're right. This is like a huge thing for him, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this is some way that I can get out of all my troubles. But then I've got Naomi's eye or Samantha's eye, and I can see things that
Do you
the
think
others
Morgan has
can't.
figured that out?
I think he suspects it.
Yeah.
Right
Not a big
now,
leap,
whenever I
right?
open my eye, I feel like I'm going insane anyway. So there's always a cost to it. So um, I think Morgan kind of snapped. You know, my thing's overconfidence, right?
Right.
So I'm going to get everybody out of this. I know that deep in my heart. Um,
And you got one more
but
tool to do it.
yeah, Morgan's problem is he's not the most strategic person on the face of the earth.
Kevin, for you as a player, biggest things you have figured out since episode 2. So what do you know now you didn't know 2 hours ago that matters?
I know that there are beings who are not normal humans. I saw that. Because I can see, like when I saw Ken, I could see what he looked like as an old man. So I
Right.
know Ken's going to become, well, Morgan thinks Ken is going to become an old man. But I couldn't see anything about Alf. I could see the nurse. I could see, what she was going through, but I couldn't see anything about the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then even though I don't know exactly what that pendant meant, I know that they're playing around with something.
Right.
Um, and I think, one of the things when Morgan saw, Samantha about to be anesthetized, or however you pronounce that word, he was afraid they're going to turn him into one of those creatures. What's going to, he kind of overplayed his hand.
Yeah.
So why would they want someone like that around?
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, stars.
a couple things. One, I think when Ken told me I could make money on the internet, that was pretty funny. But then also the hug that turned into, actually, I'm going to steal your keys, even though you've been really kind to me. I'm going to take advantage of you there. That just seemed right in line with her character.
Yeah.
So
That was definitely a tier S Angela right there.
well, and I thought she really did want a hug. So
All right. And wishes.
Honestly, I just hope I survive the night and still have some consciousness left. Right now he's panicked. He doesn't know what's going on. So
right, but for you as a player, what are you wishing from playing episode 4? What are you wishing for?
I would like for us to have some hope.
Yeah.
Because right now, there is no hope.
Yeah.
I think like Shadika mentioned, nobody cares about us outside of here. The only people that cared about Morgan were the people that he was trying to pay. And when the money ran out, they're like, got to move on. So I think I would like for us to at least have some sliver of hope that no matter what they do to us, we can maintain some of our essence. So.
And you bring up something I think is very important about this genre as well, is you have to be careful as a GM in this genre that you don't destroy that, because then there's no point in keeping playing, right? If and again, it's a balance, right? You have to, even if the chances of your all or one of your players surviving are low, which is fine in the genre, if there's no hope, if there's not a path, then you're going to lose. The characters are done, right? And you're going to lose the players too. It's just like, why keep playing? So it's a really important thing, Kevin, a real important thing in this genre. So I'm with you. All right, Big John.
Alrighty.
What's it like playing the straight man?
That was kind of unusual for me.
um,
I mean,
go ahead.
Kevin's played with me before. Like, I'm rather goofy.
Are you
Flamboyant.
enjoying Ken?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it's a nice change of pace trying to play the straight arrow type of character.
Now with this happening here, you technically being the muscle of the group, and it doesn't look like you're going to have a good chance of taking down Elf 1 and Elf 2. Where do you think Ken's head is as he's gotten his knocked on his ass?
Well, at this point, I think Ken's just kind of trying to reevaluate the situation and trying to figure out if he can actually save anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, Elf 1 has Morgan, and he did nothing to him. And Elf 2 has Angela, and I imagine he's going to be the same way. So I think his only hope really is if he can get Samantha out of there.
Yeah. All right. Stars and wishes, Ken. We'll start with your stars. What worked? When were you all in?
I think it was probably Angela and Nurse Ratchet's tender embrace. That was
Everybody loves the
just
hug.
yeah, that's just motherly hug that Nurse Mathers gave Angela. That was just special.
All right.
I mean, you could tell they were tight at that moment.
Oh, I think that they're BFFs forever. There's no question about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be, forever being the next 2 hours in their life. But let's talk about, for you as a player, John, what are you wishing for episode 4 and 5?
I'm just really hoping that Ken makes it out with both of his testicles.
That's a good goal.
What do you want from the game?
One from the game. Really, I'm just really enjoying I'm enjoying everything about the game, trying to figure out what's going on. I think we got a pretty good idea of who the bad people are and who the not so bad people are. So.
All right, excellent, guys. This is awesome. I've been looking forward to this so much. We're playing again. I think we're scheduled for January. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So we'll be back in January. So I'll see you
End
guys
of January 28th, I think.
Wonderful. I'll see you on the other side of the holidays. For those of you watching, we appreciate it. All of you live watching, thank you so much. I've got a Patreon, I got a podcast, blah, 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 blah. You know all that. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, like, whatever thing. But if I don't see or talk to you, take care. Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.